Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1 Million by 1 Million, as you know, is the first and only global virtual incubator accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in revenue and beyond, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. And that is a very small ambition, and that humble ambition can only be fulfilled, realized, if you, the entrepreneurs in our audience, are successful. That's the whole purpose of our existence. That's why we are here. So this is our 254th online roundtable that we've been doing since the fall of 2008. Now, obviously, we wouldn't be doing it for this long had you not found this useful. So we've had very good feedback and very extensive participation. We've had close to 30,000 people around the world participate in these sessions over the last few years. And in fact, these sessions predate the 1 Million by 1 Million program. This is the experiment. These online mentoring sessions are the experiments that led us to the 1M1M program. So it's, this is a very important cornerstone programming in our incubator. This event is being recorded. You will have access to the recording on our blog as well as the YouTube channel. If you were live tweeting the show, please use #1M1M. And our Twitter handles are @1M by1M, and mine is @Romana. You're welcome to follow those. We push a lot of very, very interesting, inspiring educational content in tune with the mission of the program through our channels. 1M1M Roundtables is a YouTube channel. You can look for recordings of all prior sessions there, and this one will be on that channel as well. These are the call-in instructions. We're not quite ready for call-in yet. I will put the slide up when we are ready for call-ins. First and foremost, we are going to, as part of the continued celebration of the Entrepreneur Journey's $1 Billion Unicorns book, we're going to talk today with Gaurav Dhillon. Gaurav has an absolutely amazing track record in the technology business. He has founded Informatica, which was a public company and a sustained public company as a multi-billion-dollar market cap entity. And then he went on to found SnapLogic, which currently is a private unicorn, as we are calling it in the current terminology. It has got a $1 billion valuation in the private market. And what I have found absolutely amazing in talking to Gaurav, over time, is his methodology. Some people can do it once, and some people can wing it. But people who have really thought about it deeply to develop methodology that lets them do something, of this scale, of this magnitude, over and over again, are very rare in the industry. Gaurav, welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you on. Thank you for making the time.
It's my pleasure, Shamrana. It's always nice to talk to you, and you're very kind.
So I think what we should focus on, and you can draw from both Informatica and SnapLogic, but let's kind of start with the methodology of how you, sniff out the core nuggets in an opportunity. That's what I've found amazing in talking to you, is that you really have a very good handle on that methodology.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think a lot of it has to do with the people we have and the timing we have, but there is sort of, over time and from our mistakes, a method to the madness, or a methodology that has evolved. I'd say, when we look at these things, I've always been enamored of big changes in a computing platform, or big changes in the world, right? I got into software because I'm sort of a child of the microprocessor age. My father brought home a computer from a conference, and I started learning how to program and so on. So I've been doing this for a very long time, but I'm always excited by what is next, what is the change that is going on, and how can we, in that change, create a ton of value, right? It starts with curiosity, and then it gets into sort of an execution mode. So I'd say if you look at the similarities between us here at SnapLogic, some of the other great companies that have been formed in the cloud, like a Workday or a Salesforce, I think there's a striking parallel to some of the predecessor work that some of those people had done. So in my case, what we managed to do at Informatica was sort of seize the day, take the tide, at a point when people were coming off mainframes into client-server computing in the 90s. And, you know, I'm of a vintage where that is very vivid to me. And that was a time that was very exciting because when, you know, large companies were redoing their business computing platform, they were buying new applications, ERP applications, you know, PeopleSoft, Siebel, et cetera. And as a result, they needed to knit them together. And they turned to products from Informatica, and we built a great company on the back of that over my 12 years as CEO. What we're doing at SnapLogic is something very similar in that we see this move to cloud computing, the move to big data, as sort of tectonic. These are at the scale of, you know, the Earth's plate, the Earth's crust moving, and they're much bigger than client-server. And it was sort of very, very exciting to see the change happening and happening sort of all at the same time, fed by the cloud itself, right? So in a sense, we're bootstrapping this change by using inexpensive cloud, et cetera. So now if you boil that up, my sort of takeaway on this is, look, it's like opening a combination lock, right? Think of a combination lock where you have 3 tumblers. You know, if you don't open all 3 things, the market doesn't open to you. I think the first and perhaps most important struggle for all young companies, the early days of Informatica, you know, until we got public, the first couple of years here at SnapLogic have been very similar in that you go through product market fit iteration, right? You have a product, you have a vivid imagination of what the market is, and then you engage very directly and very intimately with a number of customers, and you figure out how to modulate your product, its pricing, its packaging, sort of the 4 or 5 Bs, and you find a way to get product market fit. What you know you have it when you identify the job title of the buyer of your product, and you can figure out that they are the same person in a variety of vertical industries, aerospace, you know, banking, on and on to pharmaceuticals, et cetera, et cetera. So as you go through the ABCs of various vertical sectors and you find a job title that you can sell to, you've sort of identified product market fit, the pricing starts to shake out, your sales gets more repeatable, they're not quite, you know, as exciting, they get to be somewhat dull. You know, so what we're going to do, we have a playbook, you know, so you sort of nail it, and then you have to think about how you're going to go scale it. So in there, I think the next 2 elements of the product market fit having been achieved are how do we approach the market in a way that our pricing and distribution methodology are in sync with the market, right? So if you have product market fit, now you have to figure out what is your model to go tackle that market. And the model to tackle that market for a lot of the enterprise was and still is being able to do that through a direct sales force and partnerships with the system integrators. I mean, this is a complex business. I wish it were as simple as buying a mobile phone, and I'm sure those aren't simple from my friends who are in that business. They tell me all the complexities and the chips and the progress and the versions and so on. So again, from afar, it feels like our business is more complex in some ways because it touches so many things. But what we found is that once you have product market fit, now you have to figure out your distribution strategy. And a very simple way to think about it is, look, we know how big Starbucks is from counting their stores, right? How many stores does Starbucks have? And of course, then they have a variety of partnerships and distributions and grocery stores, et cetera. But its very essence, a complex technology business, is a function of its sales teams, the men and women who are ambassadors for that company in various points across the United States and the globe. They represent the company with, in our case, very big on integrity and very big on intensity, as well as sort of very innovative conversations, and they present the company ably to a buyer who has a problem. And now you have sort of the scale out which is how do you go about building it? And perhaps the third thing, if I might carry on this for a second, get on the soapbox for a second. The third thing is you really have to think about diversity in your customers, right? So if you find success, say, at a telco, it is tempting to try to gain, sort of profit and try to go deeper into that vertical because the next sale to a telco is much easier if you already have sold a telco, right? And this is where I think, as an entrepreneur, I've learned to come home and have a little conversation with myself. Great, we got this big deal at company X. Say we had something happen wonderful at a pharmaceutical company whose name begins with an A. Great, but I now want to make sure that I have a bank whose name begins with an A as my next set of targets. So you have to be sort of very careful, and it could vary. For certain businesses, verticalization is the way to go, and certainly applications, analytic applications in particular, are very much by vertical, organized by vertical rather than as a horizontal platform like an Oracle or SnapLogic or Informatica, whatever. But my view has been nail it, scale it, and now try to build a force in the world by having multiple customers in multiple industries who appreciate your products. And at that point, I think you've basically got what I call the IPO slide, right? Industry 1, 2, 3, 4, logo ABCD, logo ABCD, logo ABCD, and so on and so on. So now you're at a point where you can sort of graduate college as a company, and now the rest of your life begins. So that's what I would boil it up to.
Interesting. So let me synthesize a few things for our audience here. What you heard Gaurav describe is, the thought process behind building two horizontal integration companies focused on enterprise customers. And all of those, points are important. Horizontal, enterprise, right? We're not talking about SME go-to-market strategy. We're not talking about vertical enterprise go-to-market strategy. We're talking about a horizontal enterprise product, and the whole discussion so far has been focused on that because Gaurav has immense domain knowledge in that particular area. And the whole, the integration story of Informatica, the data integration in Informatica of SnapLogic, it's a very particular problem, and it's a problem that is actually has seen several companies come into existence and come into scale. Those of you who have been following these series, you met Ross Mason, the CEO of MuleSoft, recently here. Ross has also built a unicorn company or close to unicorn company in the integration space using an open source strategy, also horizontal integration. So just to kind of give you a feel for how significant companies are being built in the integration space. Now, Gaurav, back to you. So your prior generation companies, we've seen some news lately. So Informatica just went private. TIBCO went private a little while earlier. These were two previous generation, very large-scale integration-based software companies that went public and went on to become very big. Give us your analysis of the market dynamics of those transactions. Oops, the audio has cut off. Just a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yes, they're managing the audio. I saw it go red and now it's back on again. So there's a bit of a delay. I'll time my answers accordingly. So I think the story of companies growing and then stalling in the enterprise software business is an old one. There's only a certain number of companies with $1 billion in revenue, and that cycle comes and goes. So I think the common thread in the integration business with TIBCO and with Informatica, I would say, is the fact that these companies were fundamentally built before the World Wide Web existed. It's not like we were trying to limit the potential of those technologies when we're building them, myself at Informatica or Vivek Ranadive over TIBCO. but we could only do what we could with the tools and products in front of us. I like to joke that we're very advanced because we use C++ from Borland. Microsoft didn't have a C++ compiler at the time, and so we broke a lot of new ground, but the web wasn't around. And it's so trite to say it, but the web has changed everything. We have billions of people using the web in a manner that is distributed, multilingual. It generally works really well, very inexpensive, very affordable, and it's causing some of these revolutions with your incubator and the work that you're doing here. But the web changed the compute platform and led to SaaS, people using browsers to balance their books, not buy books. And when the enterprise, it was very clear, was going to jump into a web model for their application portfolio, for their business computing needs, then it was pretty clear to us, and sort of the founding synthesis behind SnapLogic, that the existing companies would not be able to solve those problems well. You'd be putting trying to put a round peg in a square hole, or, it would not be a good fit for the products that were built before the web existed. They're designed to run behind the firewall, the data types are relational, the web has very different unstructured data types, and so on. But getting out of the guts of it, I think what you have seen is classic innovators' dilemma, right? These companies had to keep selling what they've got and try to sell more and more to the existing customers the product that they had at greater and greater discounts in an effort to stem try to break out of the stall that they were in. And because that's, by definition, almost impossible to do, there's no option but to sell the company. Like PeopleSoft was acquired by Oracle, sort of in the first generation Siebel, PeopleSoft. In the case of middleware companies, with the rise of private equity, there has been a series of private equity transactions because of pressure from activist shareholders, and that pressure has come because the companies haven't grown, their stock prices lag, S&P 500, their stock prices lag a variety of other high-tech indexes, and activist shareholders take an ownership stake in the company and force them to be sold. So this is the takeaway we have, which is, unfortunately for many of the individual contributors in these companies, and unfortunately for many of the customers of these companies, this is not a good thing, because leveraged buyouts, by definition, take on a lot of debt. That debt needs to be serviced. There's always pronouncements about, oh, we're going to innovate or change models. But the truth is, you're trading one set of pressures on earnings per share with another set of pressures, which is paying back your debt. And so it's a Faustian fact, in my opinion. It's unfortunate for many, many good people who will be let go, as they are post these private equity transactions in an effort to pay back debts and service the needs of the leverage required to do these multi-billion-dollar deals. And it's generally not been good for customers or job creation. So our take is, look, it was inevitable. There was always hope that a large company would just buy it and become part of the foundation, which I think would have been a kinder, gentler way to go. But we'll see what happens. And as far as we're concerned, we're sort of cleared for takeoff, right? Both those market spaces have opened up for us.
So to tie these two segment discussions together, the one thing you said earlier on is about tectonic shifts in the industry. And in a way, these two companies are kind of victims of that tectonic shift. Cloud has really taken over. The software, even enterprise software, has become very modular, where different cloud providers providing different modular pieces of value. And now you have to tie all these pieces together, make them interplay, and draw data from one to the other, and seamlessly. And that has created a very different architectural need in these enterprises from the point of view of integration, which is what has now opened up opportunities for new companies like SnapLogic and like MuleSoft that we talked about earlier.
I would agree. Yeah.
Discontinuity such as this often opens up opportunities for new architectures and new products in the market. Now, what is, again, back to your methodology, when you talk to customers, I know you are very, very focused on customer immersion, and that's, you know, we talk about customer immersion as a core methodology like a parrot, you know, in our program. So this is like completely underpinned on the customer immersion methodology. When you talk to customers, I'm going to double click down on that a bit and ask you for some, you know, subtleties and points of views. When you talk to customers, do you start with your observation, your hypothesis about their problem, or do you ask questions and get them to tell you what is going on in their shops and what are they struggling with? You know, what is or what is the methodology?
It's always problem solution, right? This is sort of, you know, one of the greatest investment bankers in high tech, Frank Quattrone, who did the Informatica IPO for us, and so on, and he just ended up doing the LBO for the whole company as well. But, you know, he really perfected, I think, the art of this conversation in talking to investors or talking to customers even. I've used that over and over. So it's problem solution, from darkness into light. Our job is to understand what their problems are and not try to color them by commentary about our beliefs. Because oftentimes, and particularly, you know, in our early days in this business, there's sort of this desire to spill your guts. Look at all this wonderful stuff I worked hard on, you know, but it doesn't have the resonance unless you've understood the customer's problem. And if you understand the customer's problem, and, you know, I'm a big sort of fan of old-fashioned note-taking. There was an article recently that said, look, when you type on a computer, you're just you're not listening as actively. And maybe because I grew up writing, you know, I write this stuff down, and I try to listen as actively as I can to the problem this person's telling me. Not just to see if I can help them, but also to build my market intelligence, to really have that battle go the way we want it to go. We want to know the terrain, what the customers are looking at, and find patterns of repeatability. Those are breakpoints for innovative companies to sort of wedge into and then expand from there into great companies, from small to great in that sort of fashion. So it is always customer first. We should ask them what's going on, you know, depending on what they're, you know, once you get off sports, whether it's football or cricket, you quickly get into what are some of the things going on in the business, what keeps them up at night. And, you know, it's interesting. If you learn the art of open-ended conversation with them, you will learn a lot about their problem, and you understand how to serve their needs better. And again, you build that market intelligence in a way that nothing else can give you. No amount of reading gives you that intelligence. It's that interactivity and the million signals that we pick up in interactive conversation that gives us that.
And this kind of conversation works best when you come to a problem with deep domain knowledge, because especially in areas like what SnapLogic is working on, what Informatica has worked on, this is very complex stuff, and the subtleties are domain specific. It's, you know, you have to kind of understand what the customer is talking about to really extract the nuggets, and without that domain knowledge, you wouldn't be able to ask the follow-on questions to pursue the nuggets that are, you know, coming up. And this is true in security. This is true in all the hardcore, you know, areas of technology, I would say. This may not be, actually, I take it back, it's true everywhere. You know, I did one company, you know, I did a bunch of software companies, and then I did a company in fashion e-commerce. It was one of the first fashion e-commerce companies in the world in 1999. It was a bit early, but the thing that we learned from talking to, one thing I did was go talk to personal shoppers at Neiman Marcus and Saks and Nordstrom's and so forth. And the thing that they told me, which is completely new to me because I don't operate this way at all, is that customers do not know what looks good on them. They have no clue. They're looking for the personal shoppers to tell them what looks good on them. This was a problem. passion, but I did not understand that there's a whole class of customers, or majority of the customers, who do not understand this, and that led us to developing our thesis. So I think some amount of domain knowledge coming from you, and then immense domain knowledge coming from the customers, that triangulation is what gets you to the core nugget of a problem. So where are you with SnapLogic? I know you guys are going gangbusters. Give us a little, little summary of where you are.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Things are good. Look, we look to do these things, and there's so many ways to make a living that I feel blessed that I've pursued my passions, and those have led to great outcomes for the people involved, investors, employees, and others. So we're at the point where we have achieved product market fit, and we are massively scaling the business. The macros couldn't be better. You've seen the changes in the incumbent lineup. They've been taken private, getting squeezed by their debt loads. The products are showing their age in the marketplace, and people are listening. And all this news makes people go, maybe we should call that person from SnapLogic who called us back and see what they have. Who knows, right? Who knows? So for us, the timing on this just couldn't be better. And from our vantage point, it is now a process of scaling up our business by continuing to innovate. I mean, that's like breathing to us. We continue to innovate, have customer conversations, bring them back to the shop, put them into sort of a trifecta of customer conversations, feedback from the marketplace, partners, competitors, what does an analytics company want from us, what is happening with competing products. It changes, like, for example, the take private of these companies. And the third piece is we always want to have our vision in this conversation. So that innovation will continue for us, but where we are right now is all our time is focused on scaling our business. So we've increased our sales force sixfold from Q4 to Q1, 6 times the people that we had. And it's been a lot of recruitment, hiring, a lot of training. If we don't know ourselves, we won't succeed in the marketplace. And so we're going through that massive sort of ride of scaling up our business. And initially domestically, we have partnerships overseas, and then the second surge would be global expansion for us as well. So that's sort of where we are with the company.
I'm going to ask you one last question, and I know you have to run. Comment on what's happening in the industry around valuations. The private markets are really bloating up valuations, and there's a question mark around whether public markets are going to be able to sustain those valuations. How are you interpreting the market, and how are you steering SnapLogic through this, quandary?
Well, to me, a unicorn is a company that has $1 billion in revenue. So we focus on company building, Ramana. Frankly, I find some of the bragging about valuations that some of the private companies do, I find it unseemly, to be very honest, because I feel that the end result, we are company builders. We're not investment bankers. Our job is to build great businesses that let people solve large problems with which those skills they feed their families. If I look back over my career trajectory, the thing I'm proudest of is that over 100,000 people have power-centered, my product from my 20s, as a job skill on LinkedIn, and they use that skill to feed their families, to have a livelihood, to solve a problem for their employees. So I feel like valuation should be a corollary. It should be a side effect of a company's execution of the building of a great company. And so frankly, I think no doubt there's this distortion at the very early stages, and at the pre-IPO stage, there's now a distortion as well. But I would say, we should be careful, because we've also seen, I remember seeing Aaron the other day, Aaron Levy at Box, and sort of the struggle he had because of the nature of the valuations, et cetera, going public was actually harder for him. And, I saw him, I'm like, Aaron, what's going on? His hair turned white completely. He's like, this is what happens when you announce an IPO. I'm like, all right, in my case, I'm losing my hair, so maybe we should, figure out a way to meet in the middle here. But my advice, which we're taking ourselves, is let's create a great company. On a bad day in NASDAQ, which we haven't had for a while, which is why there's a lot of the stuff going on, we will lose more quote-unquote value than some of these discussions. But if we build a great company, then there's enough value for everyone at every stage of the way. And I think there's a sort of a long-term wealth creation for your employees, for your shareholders, and a perpetuity to that. Because what you want to build is a good metabolism. It's like upbringing and having children and so on. You want to have good behavior. You want to have a good metabolism, good habits in the company, so the company can do this for 10 years, 20 years. I haven't done a 30-year company, but certainly Informatica was founded in 1992. My co-founders and I worked very hard to put a culture in the company, a sense of, serving the customer in the company. In the early days, that's sort of the first decade or so, and as we got more financial engineering in it, you've seen some of the outcomes. But in my view, the valuation should come from how great is this company. Not good, not hot, right? Hot goes cold, but good doesn't go bad. Ultimately, a good company should wake up every day and say, how do I become a great company? When we had an offsite last week, you would imagine that we would spend all our time talking about, oh, let's hire this person or that person or add this product capability. What about that customer feedback? Instead, we spent a good half of the offsite talking about our values and the culture, the kind of company we want to be, the fact that we would rather lose business than have our salespeople lie to our customers. So these are sort of the things that call me old-fashioned, call me old. I believe in them in that way.
I'm glad you highlighted that because the market is, again, filling up with speculators. And there was this unbelievably stupid article on VentureBeats the other day about how these later stage funds are investing in quote-unquote unicorns at whatever valuation with no attention to fundamentals, just to pick the logo and be able to say that we are investors in this unicorn company. I mean, how much dumber can it get?
We saw it in 1999. It got very, very dumb. You had ballparks full of people who don't even have that on their resumes anymore. I saw so much resume distortion in 2002 and 2003 when we were hiring some of these people from busted.coms, and they wouldn't even put it on there. They would they would expand the prior job by a year or so. They wouldn't even admit that they had done something successfully. But we saw it, and the Dutch saw the black tulip. So I think there's more substance this time around, but I believe there's sort of a lack of discipline about that gratification of building something great. If you can delay that gratification, that is one of the most important things about building a great company. I mean, these are good companies. Some of them will make it, but I think they're constraining themselves artificially with all this valuation talk. They're sort of, in a sense, shackling themselves and preventing greatness, because they're focusing, I feel, on the wrong things.
Our program is completely focused on the fundamentals, so we don't really get carried away with valuations, and we try to discourage our entrepreneurs to get carried away by these artificial valuation implosions. Well, Gaurav, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Smyrna.
Of course.
Indeed. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Look forward to a future discussion.
Bye. Take care.
Bye now.
We're going to go to the mentoring session, and we're going to start with Saurav Gandhi. Saurav, are you on the line? Could you unmute?
Yeah, hi. Shamana, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Very good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for such an opportunity.
Please go ahead and tell us what you're working on.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to thank you. This is my first experience as a pitch, and thanks God, I got to pitch a woman. Actually, it's kind of dumb explaining jewelry to men over here. Okay, BlingLane. Can I ask you a question?
One thing you must know is So a lot of jewelry is actually purchased by men for women, so don't discount men's role in purchasing jewelry.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Hello. Okay, so have you been to India ever?
I grew up in India. I go to India all the time.
Great, great, great. So let me just ask you a single question. Do you tell me a brand in India, a fashion brand in India you crave for, or you would like to wear, or you desire of?
A brand in India?
Yeah. Anything you can recall? Fashion brand?
Yeah, they're, the high-end fashion designers are Ritu Kumar and so Sabyasachi and so forth. Yeah, sure, I don't know. I know them.
A brand, I mean a company, a brand, not a designer.
Okay, go ahead. Make your points.
Okay, so this is the point here. I want to build up, what we are doing. We're building a fashion brand, a world-class brand in India, which I think is India is lack of, because like in America, you're in America right now. So you must have heard of Tiffany, Swarovski, and all these kind of brands. But there is not been a such brand in India ever. I don't know, the international brands they have in India, people crave of, but I don't see a single brand in India which women or girls they crave for, the jewelry brand or something.
All right, got it. So the first feedback I'm going to give you is this name that you've chosen, BlingLane. That name sucks as a brand name. It's terrible. If you ever told me that what I want, the brand that I'm going to want to buy is BlingLane, I'm going to tell you must be kidding. Bling has a very, very negative connotation in the English language. Bling means that all
in America,
lower class people looking for showy stuff. That's what bling means.
I know in India, but in India, so they're not much aware of what really bling means in America or in London. So they
doesn't
really
matter. People who know English will know what bling means. Bling is a terrible derogatory word for fashion.
It's ostentatious. Okay, so we aim to be the brand leader of luxe fashion jewelry market in India, which is affordable for the working women and young girls of India.
All right.
So the problem here is there is no clear vision, no clear brand leader in India. When a woman in India wants to buy fashion jewelry or artificial jewelry, there is no name pops up in their mind in first 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It's like they go shopping on marketplaces on Amazon or Myntra or Flipkart.
So by the way, if you're talking about paralleling yourself with Tiffany's is not artificial jewelry. Tiffany's is diamonds and gold and platinum.
I know. No, actually, I'm paralleling about it with Swarovski.
Okay. But Swarovski is also not a costume jewelry particularly.
Swarovski sells all man-made crystals, It's all man-made. They're not real gemstones. I know Tiffany sells real gemstones. Ippolita sells real gemstones. But Swarovski is all about man-made crystals,
Swarovski is not a 300 rupees to 1,200 rupees price point product.
So this is my point. Let me tell you what happens when a girl wants to buy high-end jewelry in India. See, as you know, the working women, they're budget constrained. They love to wear Swarovski. There are now Swarovski stores in India, in many malls, in Delhi, everywhere. So, but the price tag starts from 8,000 to 10,000. It's really expensive for them to wear and afford. So this is what I'm trying to do, is build the same quality, not exactly same, but approx to same quality, and provide them the same kind of quality and designs in affordable prices. See, I've been in this industry from past 16, 17 years. I've been to United States. I've done many, exhibited in many gems and jewelry gem shows. The one in Tucson, you must have heard of, the biggest gems show of the world. So using this experience and my passion for building a brand and creativity, so I thought to combine together and make something affordable yet unique and valuable. Second issue is the gold jewelry. It's not easy to afford in India right now. So they want something, a substitute of real gold jewelry, but has to be elegant and nice quality of gold jewelry. So this is what we are trying to do here. Make the products we made, the quality is much better than even gold jewelry is made in India. We made our jewelry in China, not in India. And in India, what the jewelry people sell, the fashion jewelry and artificial jewelry, they have many minus points. It has nickel in it, which can cause allergy. The plating goes off, the stone pops out. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, so what we did after building our brand, we took care of customers also really easy. I've been to America. So I've learned how people take care of customers in America. It's like customer is the god in business. That's what they say. So we have maintained 100% positive reviews and respecting all the customers and their complaints and taking care of them. Plus the website we have built, it's totally clutter-free. It's very nice, minimal approach. We don't see much of that in India. See, the vertical approach is very good in US because you see a lot of people coming up with a single product and nice and clean, clutter-free environment. So this is also a good point to go on. And then special value add-ons, nobody thinks of this much in India. They don't. We add special value add-ons, a thank you card, special jewelry care tips card, and then we add a free chain with each pendant, and a lot of things we add to make it special for the customers. So this is what we picked the best and trends from West. Because what happens whenever some fashion comes in the West, it takes at least 1 to 2 years to reach India. So we picked the latest trends out of West and these stackable rings you see, stackable bangles, stackable waist chains, and things like peas, Hamza, and these things, infinity. These things can really go well in India. So we picked out all the hot trends from around the world, and we incorporated here in our jewelry. We picked some deity, some chakra also. Have you heard of chakra?
A chakra is a word I know. I don't know what you're talking about. Have you heard of chakra? Chakra means means cross.
So chakra is it's like you have 7 chakras in your body. So we picked that trend also. Yeah, so we picked that trend. We picked deity. We make a few collections which can do really well in India.
I can't help but telling you this. You're talking about trends, you're talking about stackable, you're talking about chakra and all that. The jewelry itself does not look very good. As far as my taste is concerned, I find this a complete turnoff.
Oh.
I would never even think about buying any of this. So you may want to get designers to do real design work. This is really bad design. You can't sell based on trends. You have to sell products based on good design.
Shaman, I tell you what, I have worked for a brand named Color in the Rough in US. What happened, the new brand, new designs, what you create by yourself, the designers, what they create, it needs a lot of effort in marketing to sell. In India, people cannot adopt something unique or different designs very easily. So we started with some really easygoing designs which they can accept very easily, and then when we get some funding and and when we grow, we'll hire the designers and they will design something unique.
Have you started selling? What is the market? Forget what I said because I'm not your customer. What is the market saying? Is the market buying your product?
Yeah, they're loving the product. I mean, I brought a few quantity each of this new inventory, and everybody is buying from my website, from Amazon. But we just started, It's not. It's all messed up. The slide.
How many products? How many units have you sold? What kind of revenue are you doing right now?
Oh, this new collection I have launched in February on 13th of February. In past 1.5 months, I've sold around 2 lakh something. Not a big amount, but this is what I've sold without any advertisement, without any marketing spend.
Well, then that's good. So try to understand what is that customer, who is that customer, what's the target customer. So let's see, what you're not selling is luxury jewelry. Let's not kid ourselves. You're not selling luxury jewelry. You're selling fairly low-end mass market jewelry. And that is your customer base. So don't confuse a luxury customer. I'm a luxury customer. I will not touch your product. But you have a mass market product.
I was ready to hear that, Shamana. I was ready to hear that. You know what? I tell you what, still this jewelry is far better than any other fashion jewelry brand in India. So this is my dream, is to reach luxury
there is
jewelry.
A mass market fashion jewelry brand that you can build. And it sounds like the category that you're getting traction from is that, and you kind of need to build your entire strategy, the customer acquisition strategy, around attracting that customer base. It's a lower-end customer base. There's a lot of them. Obviously, India is a numbers game, right?
Let me tell you, I have defined my market. I am going to hit only the working women and girls of India because, they are brand conscious. They want at least a better quality and their budget constraint also. They cannot spend thousands on Swarovski every month, or they cannot spend on real gold jewelry every month. So for them, it's affordable, and the quality when they receive it, I have heard from each and every customer of mine, they say this is the best quality so far they have seen in India, even at this price. I mean, if I ship you one piece.
There's a consumer at that price. There's no question about it. See, the fashion market is a pyramid, right? The luxury consumers are at the very top of that pyramid. Then you have, you have layers and layers of different price points at which there are different customers, and at your price point there is actually a much larger number of target customers than luxury customers.
I know, I'm not targeting luxury customers at all. What I'm trying to do is to provide luxury to middle class customers, because you know what, they cannot really afford Swarovski or Tiffany or real gold jewelry from any other place. Every month they cannot change the trend or fashion, because if they buy a gold piece and gone for a year, they cannot buy it again. I tell you what, how this dream pulled up. I was walking down in a Rodeo Drive in LA once, way back in 2005, when I saw all these brands for first time in my life, the Gucci, Versace, all these high-end brands. I couldn't afford it. I really wanted to buy one. So from there, I went to Santa Monica Mall. There I saw Armani Exchange. Armani Exchange, a middle class, it's still affordable brand. So there I bought $150 shirt and $100 something else. So that thing came into my mind because in India, people, they still crave for brands. They love brands, but they need something what they can afford and wear easily.
That's true about everywhere in the world. Many of the fashion brands have lower labels. Ralph Lauren has lower level brands called Lauren that they sell through Macy's, and they sell Polo Ralph Lauren, the Ralph Lauren purple label through Saks Fifth Avenue or Wills Bashford. So that's exactly how the fashion business works. Is there offerings at different price points. So what my caution to you is that if you present this as like a Tiffany's equivalent, I think you're setting expectations that are very incorrect expectations. It will be hard
I know that was negative. I am sorry for that. I tell you what, this is my first pitch, so I was kind of nervous.
It's okay. Look. It's okay for you to pitch and practice and get feedback. My feedback to you is all constructive feedback so that you can improve your pitch and convey what you're trying to what you're saying from a business logic point of view makes sense. You are bringing affordable, what we call affordable luxury to the, kind of middle class consumers, and that's fine. That's a very big market in it. There's a e-commerce is starting to become mainstream in India. In the next 5 years, e-commerce is going to become much more, widespread in India. The consumers are starting to learn how to find things online and buy things online, and you are creating an online brand for affordable jewelry for customers. That's your business. Don't try to call it a luxury Tiffany's, Swarovski. Those are irrelevant. Those brands are not what you're trying to do here. That's a very different business.
I tell you, Shamana, in India, if I go to explain my business plan to anyone, there are very few names people know in India. They know Swarovski.
Okay, that's the problem. Very few names people know in India. People know Lakme. It's not like brands are not being created in India. There are many brands are being created in India. People understand brands. Don't tell me people don't understand brands. People understand Lakme. People understand, all these Ayurveda brands.
No, I'm talking about particularly about fashion jewelry brand over here. In India, there are around 25 brands selling fashion jewelry. Hello? Hello?
Oh, looks like Sharana's call dropped, so just hold on one sec. It looks like she's calling back in.
Hello? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I got connected. Somehow the other WebEx dropped me.
No problem.
So did you,
so overall,
my point to you is that you have a business. I think you have a reasonable business idea. I do not know the competitive analysis of this market because there is a lot of e-commerce businesses coming up in India right now. You may want to do the competitive analysis for your category, affordable luxury brand for the middle class women in jewelry. I think that's a very simple pitch. And you've already started doing the business. You've started accumulating numbers, and I imagine you're going to fine-tune your customer acquisition strategy based on those, and fine-tune your inventory, fine-tune your designs accordingly. And there is a business. There is no question that there is a business in this category.
So my question was only about the strategy. How should I move on from here, and how should I grow from here? If you see all the slides and if you go till end, then I'm going to ask you only 1 or 2 questions.
Okay, that's questions. Oops, that's not it.
Okay, the strategy here is I'm confused a bit over here. So I have kind of 2 plans over here. I wanted to knock the doors of VCs and go undercover for next 6 to 10 months, build a nice platform we have designed already, build a mobile app. We have designed a mobile app. If you have heard of Polyvore.com.
Sure.
So Polyvore, they make styles, they make sets. We have a company in India also doing same thing like Polyvore named LimeRoad. So what we designed in our mobile app, we want a selfie app so a girl can take the picture and then she can add the item and drag it on her picture. So she can try virtually before buying.
Do you have that technology available?
Yeah, in India, yeah. No, I don't have. My technology consultant, he has built an app same like that already. Okay.
Those are not issues. I think the question, if you want to raise financing, there are all sorts of things that you're going to have to convince investors on that there is a business here. Is there a billion-dollar business here? That's something that you're going to have to convince investors that 1, there is a billion-dollar business here, and 2, you are the team to execute on that opportunity. That's what's ahead of you. So I'm not sure what is your.
I should go with angel investors or VCs right now.
Sorry.
I should go to an angel investor ready to set up for next stage, or I should hit the VCs right now and go undercover, prepare everything, and come all at once.
What is your revenue level?
Right now?
Yeah.
It's nothing, almost 1.5 lakh, because we are researching and making strategies from past 1.5 to 2 years. We're not focused on sales.
Okay, so then you go to angels. You've got a business, you've got some revenue, you've got some product market fit. So go now. At this point, you're going to have to go talk to angels.
Okay.
It's too early for VCs.
Thank you.
All right. CampusGlob, I believe Maureen is asking me to use this presentation. Okay. Who is the presenter? Harsh is the presenter?
Hi. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Harsh. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
So, basically, shall I start with the pitching?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, basically, CampusGlob is a platform for students where a student can save, explore, and connect. How do we like? Because, how CampusGlob helps them to save, CampusGlob helps them to save around the city and even in online cashbacks, helps to connect with them with the biggest opportunities available all around the world, like in internships, like in jobs, whether it is contests, whether it is research, and explore the market of corporates and get connected with them for sharing better ideas. So I'll just move up. So what exactly a platform for students is, they can save by availing with discounts and offers available all around the city, even in online cashbacks with the best brands available in India and worldwide, can avail scholarship with the best educational institute, can connect with the various opportunities in the form of scholarships, internships, jobs, and national and international events. What credibility they give to the college is to associate with the brands, vendors for various events, sponsorships, and to promote themselves in the widest network of students of different parts of India. And what thing they give to SMEs and corporate, to get their dream intern and employee for best suited for them. How is that we are actually bridging the gap between the student, corporate, brand, and university, and making them to come under a single umbrella to interact and to have benefit to create a win-win situation. Our key customers are basically now our corporate, student, and general consumer, which is almost 99% of the consumer available in India. So why exactly I choose student is, if you see around the chart of past 10 years, you can see it's 150% growth in the last decade of 10 years. Because student sector, where it grows every year 12%. And according to the HR ministry, they need 3,000 universities by the end of 2020. And students are the biggest market because they used to shop most. They eat outside for 3 days in a week. They try to be more fashionable. They used to hang around. They used to go amusement parks and stuff. So, market size and how CampusGlob helps students.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to understand is what is the level of validation that you have on this opportunity? This, you're quoting market size, but have you worked with customers? These constituencies that you're talking about, you work with them. Are people in the loop from those constituencies? What are they telling you?
Yeah, we do have around, actually we are operational in Jalandhar, Punjab, and we have around 100 vendors in the Jalandhar already associated with us, and 50 online cashback shopping websites, including Flipkart, Amazon, and many other websites. And we have 9,000 students currently associated with us from 2 colleges and university, including lovely professional university. And we have around 6 SMEs associated with us who are offering internships and basically a platform to them to help even to engage with the jobs with the SMEs. Because what the problem of the SME is, they are not so big, they are not so small. They are in the middle class. They don't have perfect HR group to hire students or hire their human resource. So what our platform provides, we display the profile of the student who are associated with us to them, that this particular CV belongs to this guy, and they train them particularly in last 6 semesters and help them to get that interaction, to get them job.
First, I have a very fundamental question here. What is the core value proposition of your site? Are we trying to connect students with SME companies so that they can hire these students as interns? Or are we trying to get discounted merchandise to the students from various corporations that are selling in the market? What is the core value?
It's a three, like CampusGlob is a three-phase, like it has a three-phase of market. First, it helps students to save around the city. Second, to connect with the corporate and SMEs for jobs, internships, and various opportunities. And third, to explore the place of like their opportunities, like events, fest, and opportunities available all over worldwide. So there is three phases. One, they can save around the city, and second, to connect with the corporate and SMEs for their internships and jobs.
Seems convoluted to me. So, you know, on the internship value proposition, there's lots of competition. There are lots of companies in India that are trying to do internship portals, and you know, Let's Intern has quite traction already. So on that value,
it is not based.
Yes, go ahead.
It's not basically an internship. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Basically, I'm not a intern giving website. Like, I'm just connecting a student, connecting a corporate, connecting a university in one platform, so that they can save, they can connect, they can explore the opportunities. Like this three phase. Like,
yeah, but
I can detail, like when
on all these internship sites are working in that, you know, in that triumvirate cusp as well. Internships can only happen when you connect students with corporates, and the natural way of getting those students to connect is through the universities, and that's happening already. And I'm just concerned that, you know, there are players out there that you may not be aware of, so you should do your comparative analysis quite substantially.
No,
I see a lack of. On the other hand, your other value proposition of offering discounts to students, you know, and working with a variety of different corporations who have products that they want to sell to students and want to build relationships, brand relationships with students through these discounted offerings, that may be more interesting and more differentiated. I have not seen that as a you know, value proposition in the market. So I'm not sure.
It's true. Let me continue with the market size. Like, market size already finished. Let me move with that. Like, how we have students, basically CampusGlob working on a privileged card model, a membership card model. Like, how we are helping students, to have them offers and discounts at hundreds of products and services. We cover all the verticals of online shopping and big brands and small vendors. We help them to connect and collaborate. We help them to empower with opportunities, provide scholarship with the best education institute, provide internship and job assistance with the global brands and SMEs and MSMEs. And cash
so market size, Harsh. Market size is how much money you can make based on your business model. And so if you're offering these discounts, what is your business model? Who's paying you? How much are you getting paid? And how much money can you make in this market based on that business model? That's market size.
How we are doing it, we got hundreds of vendors associated with us, and they are throwing a very much good offers to our students whosoever is a member of CampusGlob. Like, what exactly we do, we are working in a tab point of sale machine. We have an Android app with exactly a point of sale terminal. Like, whenever students come to their shop, they just swipe the card with that. We have a 3.5 mm jack connected with the tab. We just swipe it, and their whole information comes on the tab of the vendors. Then suppose, let it be a fruit shop. Suppose they sell shakes. They sell milkshakes. Suppose 100 rupee milkshake, 10% with our CampusGlob card. So what we do is, we take 2% of that 10%, and we tell them to give 8% to the student. So that 2% are, I'll just give you an example of 2%. So we take 2% and we tell them to give 8%. So what we do is, he in the tap point of sale machine, he add the fruit and he add the discount of this much and he charge from it. So like an information goes to the student, like you have got this much discount, and even it goes to the owner of that shop that this venture has just give this much discount to the student. So it creates more brand level things, and even a very good template of email goes to the student's email that how you like it. So like we have collaborated with this agreement that in every 10th of the month we settle the amount. We settle the we send them the bill.
What kind of track
within the
built into all this? Like, do they have the capability to track it? Do you have the capability to track? How do you prevent fraud in this process?
The thing is, the big market, the big vendors, like suppose an owner has set up 10 ventures, 10 kiosks in a shop, in a city. So the main concern of our owner is, like, suppose his manager is, his accountant is in the billing panel, and what he just tell them that one person came with the card and took a discount. And in reality, if they know the student has came with the card, so even owner guides the accountant that you must do it in order to give them a discount to anyone.
Okay, so we're kind of out of time, Harsh. I'm going to give you a quick summary of what my read of your business is, and you may want to think about these things. First and foremost, I'm not convinced about the internship value proposition, because it's kind of, there's too much of that going on in India right now. There's a lot of internship sites, and I don't encourage you to go into a market that is that crowded. Second point is this student discount from brands. This is interesting. That's more differentiated in my opinion. However, you really need to think through very, very carefully how you're going to audit and track and make sure that you actually think about it. If you have 100,000 small businesses out there who are offering discounts, you need a way to track all this and some sort of a audit mechanism. Otherwise, it's going to be full of fraud. You're not going to get much of this. You're never going to see much of this money. Given India is it's India, right? It's full of fraud.
Yeah, that's why we are using an Android point of sale terminal, which we give to the
if they're willing to
vendor.
If they're willing to adopt the point of sale terminal, that's fine. But getting 100,000 or a million SMEs to adopt your Android terminal is not going to be an easy task.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges that I think about it. Thank you, Harsh, for your presentation. Good luck.
Yeah, can I ask you something, a small thing?
Okay, go ahead.
The Indian Asian Network has offered me an incubation with them. So, my question is, should I go with them and giving them the equity of 5%?
Look, it's very, very disingenuous for me to advise you to go work with incubation of IAN, because we are a competitor to that. So I don't think it's appropriate for you to ask me for advice on this.
Okay. Okay.
And in my opinion, if you came to me to ask I think you are too early to part with any equity, and this is not fleshed out at all. There's a lot of work involved here before you should raise any. You should part with any equity, because right now equity is going to be at at no valuation whatsoever, and I don't think you will be able to attract any investor at this stage.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay.
Okay. So try to answer the questions that I asked you, and see if you can, either on your own or somebody's help, whether it's our help or IAN's help or somebody's help, you can actually get to the nugget of the business, because I think this business is still not really positioned. You need to position the business.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Harsh. Amit, you're up next.
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, Amit.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. And hello, everyone. Ma'am, thank you so much for giving me a chance. And first of all, I'd like to thank Maureen for supporting me to connect you here because I was just facing a technical problem at my end. So she just helped me out with reaching you down. So thank you so much, Maureen. Ma'am, we are Augy, and we basically aim to redefine the shopping experience of customers by making it more fun, interactive, and socially sharing while shopping. So basically, Augy is a virtual trial room. But the concept is that without physically trying anything, you can come to know that how it looks on you. So the problem which we are catering now, we are basically building a bridge between the retailers and the customers. Retailer problem is facing like with inventory being much bigger than the space available at showrooms for display. They can't showcase all designs at the stores. But before that, I'd like to clear that for now we are basically focused at a niche market, that is a jewelry market. So with respect to that market, the problem is of the retailers that inventory is much larger than the space available at showrooms. The second problem they face is that if a jewelry is being tried by myriads of women, then chances are very high that tidbit part of that jewelry may get breakdown, or if it's been tried by most of the people, then the color and sign of the jewelry may fade away, and it all adds cost to the jewelers. From the customer end of view, a customer can't explore more options at the store, and during my research, I found that options is always being the major decision factor while purchasing. And again, there are hazards of style to and at the customer's end. And the same problem is being faced by online shoppers that they don't know that how any jewelry would look on them. And we can see a huge growth in the online space of the jewelry market. Still, I have the database of around 100 plus online jewelry stores. So that's a problem. Now, next slide, please.
So question before we go to the next slide on the technology. Are you proposing that you have the picture of the customer and then the jewelry goes on that picture, or are you talking about a mannequin that fits? I mean, how are you going to do this?
Okay, sure. So we have the solution, actually, the virtual trial room. If we talk about the in-store thing, so there will be a tablet at the store which we will be providing, and applications will be installed in the tablet. Now, people simply have to people simply have to take their picture using the camera in the tablet, and simply tap the images, tap the jewelry they want to try, and it will be superimposed on their body image. So they can actually see that how it looks on them. Yeah, okay. So that's the solution where it comes in. Then solution comes in that the virtual trial room, where you can it will also act as you can say a digital catalog to the from the retailers to the customers, so that they can showcase all their SKUs to the customers. It also enables them to try those designs digitally on their image. So again, saving their time and exploring more options. And it's making the customer shopping experience awesome by hassle-free trials, and again with more fun and interactive activities. You can share it socially with your friends and families. So this is a common solution, the common bridge which we are building, and which is creating value for both the retailers and the customers. For the online solution, we have the web plugin which will be installed in their website, and for the in-store thing, there will be hardware and the software, the tablet and applications which we'll be using. Our go-to-market strategy will be like we simply have to identify the prospective customers, that who are the customers in the store if we're talking, that who are the customers who want to actually use our product, and again give us the permission for pilot. We need to visit them, pitch a demo to them, because since this is something new to them, so we have to make them understand that how it can create value to them, and it also creates value to the customers. So again, it's creating a loyalty to the customers and heightening their sales. And we are planning to give it for free to use for 3 months, including tablet and applications. And if we go to the online solutions, then our plugins will be installed there in the website. And we won't be charging for the application. We will be charging for the, you can say, the per trial, the per impression cost. For the validation would be like, we see our competitors as a validation of our idea. I mean that we do have 3 or 4 competitors in the market. At our end, we have 4 prospective and interested online store customers who are excited and wants to see the use our product in their website. We have given the demo and they want to use it now. We are working on the product development part. And we are again in discussion with a few physical store owners as well, so that we could do the pilot with them and involve them to achieve the product market fit, because we need to understand their problem. So yeah, that's all from my end. I need your suggestions now.
So Amit, one of the issues that come to my mind, and this is a technical question, is that, when we try on jewelry, one of the key things that we look for is how the jewelry falls. Like if it's an earring, let's say if it's an earring that hangs, how does it fall? Or if it's a necklace, how does it fall? These kinds of things, I don't know if your technology is capable of dealing with it, but that is the key thing that we are looking for when we are trying jewelry on. So please keep that in mind. It's just not like taking a picture and snapping it on a photo, because that's not really what we are trying to figure out. The key problem of trying is different.
Yeah. Okay, but ma'am, actually, our talk with some customers, if we say, then again there are different criteria for selections and for purchasing any jewelry. So again, the problem which you mentioned, that the weight on the body is again a very critical factor. But we are just catering as of now that how it actually looks on you. That's the problem we are actually targeting. As of now, I don't.
The problem is you're not solving my problem. If I'm trying to try on jewelry online, you're not solving my problem, because I mean, if it's a little stud or something that you put on the ear and how does it look? Yeah, okay, I can gauge that without putting it on myself. I can look at the product and see. But if you're looking at something more complex that has fall and swing and all that, that's where trying it on comes into play, and that's something that, that's where I think how it fits, how it falls, how it sits. These are the jewelry trying things. You should talk to women. I don't know whom you're talking to. You guys are men doing startups, men doing e-commerce startups, men doing jewelry, fit technology. Where are the women in this picture? Whom are you selling to? Try to understand what are the issues from the people who are actually going to be using the products, right? And so that's one feedback that's on the technology side, and what is the core issue of jewelry trials. The second thing is, in terms of go-to-market strategy, what I don't like is your strategy of having to go visit every single customer, because I'm not sure that you're going to be able to sell these products at a very, very large price. If you're talking about small e-commerce sites, and they're not going to be paying you that much. They're going to pay maybe a small monthly subscription fee for software as a service. And if you have to go visit to sell each of these products, it's a very, very, very expensive sale, and I don't think you can do that profitably. And then I have concerns about the total available market in this category. It sounds like it's a very small market.
No, ma'am, if we see as per the FICCI report, if we see, then the jewelry market as of now is somewhere around 2 to 2.5 lakh crore. And if we keep apart the plain gold and
market, you're catering to the jewelers market. The jewelry market may be very large, but the jewelers market is not that large. That's my point. Your customers are not the jewelry consumers. Your customers are the jewelers who are catering to that jewelry market. Jewelers are there.
Yeah, correct, ma'am. So just for the start, ma'am, we thought that just for the small start, I would say that we thought that initially tapping the jewelry market, we will moving to the other market like the apparel market also. So still, ma'am, I'm not sure about the exact number of the jewelers in Delhi or in India, I'll say, but again. Yeah, there are actually thousands of jewelers presently, if I say thousands of jewelers in Delhi itself. So don't you think that it will be sufficient for us to initially tap these markets?
Well, there's very simple answers to those questions. As long as you're doing a bootstrap business, that's fine. There's enough TAM to do a bootstrap business. There's not enough TAM in my assessment, and you can prove me wrong by actually showing numbers that speak otherwise, but my assessment is that there's not enough TAM to do a funded business. So as long as you're reconciled to the fact that you're doing a bootstrap business, it's okay. It's not a problem. There is a business, most likely, especially if you can get the product right. I think there are question marks on the product. Okay, so focus on that. Try to understand what the product requirements are, and please involve actual, women who are going to be using this product in your product design process so that you can understand what they're looking for when they're looking to buy something online. You know, what is it that they're looking for? I've given you some of my perspectives. You talk to other women and get their perspectives and really understand the product requirements. And then on the go-to-market strategy, think about it. If you can you sell this by, we use a strategy in our program called Sales 2.0, which is a telephone web selling strategy, and that may be a better that would be a better fit for SaaS sales in general. Those are better fits, especially semi-SaaS sales. So those are my feedbacks in terms of your business. There is a business potentially if you can get the right product. Go-to-market strategy needs revision, and assume that this is going to have to probably be a bootstrap business.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think definitely I need to work on the product part mainly.
You have to work on the product part, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to spend a few minutes talking to you about how to use the 1M1M program. And before we do that, my request to you, if you like what we are doing, is to refer 1M1M to other people, especially serious entrepreneurs. You know, we are really looking for serious entrepreneurs who are interested in being in the program and, you know, doing justice to the process of company building, not the fly-by-night entrepreneurs. So everything is at 1mby1m.com. You will find a great, extremely informative and educative blog and inspiring. You will find the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, of which we have published 12 books. All of those are on Amazon Kindle, and some of them also are available as paper books. This is what our site looks like. We do these strategy roundtables, the free strategy roundtables every week. This is our 254th roundtable. So, you know, definitely use them on an ongoing basis. We have roundtables every week. All of April, we have Thursday roundtables. All of May, we have Thursday roundtables. So please feel free to take advantage of those and register. We are, you know, generally overbooked. So you have to kind of, you know, register. And then if you don't have a slot this next time, you will find your slots in upcoming series. But it is a first come, first serve program, so you have to kind of register to pitch so that Maureen can find you a slot. Then we have the $1,000 premium membership, where we provide you extensive methodology guidance, how to put one foot before the other in a very granular way. We have a very, very powerful curriculum. We help you with business development. We help you with strategy consulting. We help you with financing. If you are financeable, we'll help you understand what are the requirements of financing. And if you meet those requirements, then we'll help you prepare the, you know, pitch deck and everything, and introduce you to investors. And we help you with media relations. We have a lot of clout in the media, and we help you get your word out there, get your product out there, get your message out there. You can go to the $1 Million Club page and look at some case studies of success stories of the program. You can go to the Quantifying the 1M1M Value Equation link on the home page and understand the ROI of the program. We offer $375,000 plus 5 to 10% equity worth of value for just $1,000 annual membership fee and no equity. So very, very high value program. The 1M1M self-assessment is something that I want all of you to take advantage of and kind of ask these questions, especially if you're contemplating investment. You must go take your project through the self-assessment to see the kinds of questions investors are going to ask you and try to answer those questions. You will find a lot of information about the premium program on the site, what to expect from the program, video FAQs and so forth. So you can make your decision whether this program is for you or not. Case studies of several hundred successful entrepreneurs plus video lectures is what is in the curriculum. We have a core and a set of electives, and the way we teach it is in video lectures and case studies. We've been doing case studies since 2006. We have the largest body of case studies in this category. The curriculum has, the core curriculum has 7 major topics: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, customer acquisition, and team building. And the electives are Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, market mobile and social apps, healthcare, IT, online education. We have one called Building Unicorn Companies, etc. So there's a whole bunch of different electives. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. So even if you're going to raise money later on, our philosophy is bootstrap first, raise money later. Part of it is because investors are looking for validated businesses, and to get to validation, you're going to have to bootstrap the early phases. If you go to the press page, you will find a link called Coverage of 1M1M Premium members, where you can get a flavor for the kind of coverage we generate for our companies. We also let you use our social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I have over 100,000 followers on LinkedIn. So we can get your message out there in a very significant way. And our premium members have access to our social media channel to propagate their messages. Our blog is also available for you to publish guest posts or rewrite posts about you, again, making you known to your audiences. If you're trying to develop entrepreneurship in some part of the world, we're happy to work with you as an affiliate partner. We have a very generous affiliate fee program, affiliate commission-based program. And the other 3 roundtables this month are April 16th, 23rd, and 30th. And you're welcome to book your slots to pitch at one of those. Vision India 2020 is an ideation book that we publish. It's the 13th book from our portfolio. It's basically, we have $45 billion business ideas, and you can kind of steal, morph, borrow, whatever you want to do with these ideas. It's essentially designed to stir up your thought process in defining what you want to do with your entrepreneurial journey. The 1M1M Incubator in a Box is the program that we use to work with corporations primarily, other organizations as well, but mostly corporations, to do their incubation programs, whether it's intrapreneurship or ecosystem development, and we have a number of partners in this area. Again, the latest Entrepreneur Journeys book is $1 Billion Unicorns. Then we also have Carnival in the Cloud, Bootstrapping with a Paycheck, From E-Commerce to Web 3.0. We have 12 Entrepreneur Journeys books, and you're welcome to see which one fits your current, issues and start reading. That's a very low-priced entry point into the 1M1M program. And we have just a few minutes, couple of minutes for Q&A if you would like to call in. Does anybody want to call in and ask questions or discuss any issues? You can also ask questions in the public chat, and I will be happy to take questions right now. While you're doing that, let me introduce you to Irina Patterson. If you have questions about the program, you can contact Irina at irina@1mby1m.com. Our phone number is 786-301-2456, but please email her to set up a time to talk. That's pretty much it for today's session. So unless you have questions, we're going to wrap up. No one has any questions? All right, very good. Alejandro, you're welcome to call or pitch even if you like to pitch. And good luck, everybody. Talk to you next week. Bye. Thank you very much for coming.